I feel paralyzed.
Alright, so after the impressive load time video that we saw from Sony involving the PlayStation 5, they decided to come out with some even more interesting statements regarding the system. Now, one of the main things they're talking about for the PS5 going into the PS5 from the PS4 for users is basically how seamless it is going to be. Now, we know for a fact, we already talked about this, Sony's partnering with Microsoft to build a better infrastructure for this transition for those on PS4 to PS5, but also to focus on newer things outside of gaming. They're focused on more ways to immerse you. They stated that the PS5 will be immersive and seamless. Now, with this information right here, this definitely got me looking at it like, wow, what else are you guys working on? And how is this this network really going to be in terms of being different from what we have now previously with the PS4 or PS3, compared to what we have now. Obviously, PS4's network is a lot better compared to the PlayStation 3. We can pretty much all confirm that. The PlayStation 3 is not the greatest online, right? It's not the greatest. PS4 is a lot better. It's a lot more stable than what we had before. The PS5 one, I'm definitely looking at it with what else you guys got working on? Now, why am I saying this? Well, according to this, the PS5 will indeed be backwards compatible with PS4 titles, but also cross-gen with PS4 titles. They also confirmed that with this very statement and article. That's right. So, if you decide to get the PS5, let's say the PS5 is indeed $500, right? You bought it day one. I know a lot of people feel deserted when they do that, right? When they buy the new systems, they go, damn, I can't play with my old friends, but they'll always keep their old consoles to do that. Well, it turns out you do not need to do that with the PS5, as you'll be able to talk to your friends, play with your friends, all that jazz, create parties. You can tell them how good the new system is. And that's actually a clever way to get more marketing for PS5, if you think about it, without them having to spend even extra money. You can basically tell them. People can ask, so what's so different about PS5 from PS4, right? These things you can tell them. You can tell them about the new UI, all that. This stuff's going to happen with PS5. You can do this with no problems. So that's a pretty cool feature that's happening with PlayStation 5. I'm definitely looking forward to that for sure. Another thing that's going to be pretty cool, since we know for a fact it's backwards compatible, as soon as you log in with your account, I'm guessing this is going to happen because you already purchased them, right? You purchased them on the PSN store, so it'll make sense that it will happen. But all the games that you purchase on the PlayStation 4 will indeed work with PS5 when you log in your details online. Now, what I mean by that, I mean your digital ones as well. When you log in with your account, all your digital sales or your digital games you bought will just be there in the library section on the menu. So you will have access to all your games that you bought previously. So that's another cool thing that's going to happen with PS5. And again, it's all about being seamless. So that's pretty cool. Definitely a cool big step up from what we have now with PS4. I don't know, there's no words right now in terms or no word right now talking about how faster it is, right? There's no talks about upload speeds or download speeds. So I'm hoping that they can at least handle more traffic with this new infrastructure, and they won't necessarily have to data cap you as much. Because remember, you're data capped by default on PS4, and even the Xbox One and Xbox One X, you're data capped. I'm wondering if they're gonna alleviate that and be able to handle higher internet speeds and provide better coverage for everybody. And that's another thing I wanted to see if it will happen. But yeah. That's definitely what's going on. It's pretty cool. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, that should be a cool thing nonetheless. And I'm going to close today's video out with this right here. Now, this is courtesy of Jack Trenton. Now, Jack Trenton, yes, this is what I was talking about yesterday. Didn't get a chance to make the video, sorry. But according to Jack Trenton, he believes that Sony will indeed face a lot of competition with the PlayStation 5. He even mentioned Microsoft in a strong suit. He believes Microsoft will indeed be strong competition for Sony in the future. Now, I'm guessing he did mention this, the cloud servers and whatnot, right? He mentioned all this, but whatever. He mentioned all this. But if he's strictly basing it off of that, then I think it's a little kind of a weird statement. It should be a combination of both the games and this, right? So maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe we'll get some pretty good announcements at E3 this year. Maybe. You know, maybe some good announcements. I know a lot of people are not necessarily talking about E3 right now. It's kind of been kind of quiet for E3, so maybe that's something they can use in their advantage. You know, a lot of people are probably going into Microsoft's show with very low expectations. So when you go in this with low expectations, then we should be blown away by whatever, you know, they got going on now. It should be a great show nonetheless, right? So I'm just gonna sit here and be optimistic. You know, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be very optimistic going into Microsoft showing. I think that's fair, and hopefully they deliver what they need to deliver and blow us away at E3 this year. So I'm expecting some really, really good announcements on that regard for sure. All right, but yeah, not much really needs to go on, or not much else I need to add on to this at all. So to end today's video, this right here is courtesy of Ready at Dawn. Now, you guys already know one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 4 was The Order 1886. Even though the game suffered with a problem such as length, right? That was the problem with The Order 1886. It wasn't necessarily the setting. The setting was perfect. It just didn't have the length that really justified the price at the time. It was $60 and literally ended before it even started, it felt like, right? That's what happened with The Order 1886. But according to this, well, it looks like Ready at Dawn is indeed working on another console, AAA console game that's in the prototype phase. But they're also talking about their lessons they learned from VR. Now, and if you're into VR, to basically sum up what they're saying about VR, basically the latest game they made was called Lone Echo, and that was for VR. They're actually taking their lessons that they learned from that game and are improving upon it. So that's basically what they're saying in the article here. When it comes to this new particular AAA exclusive, I know a lot of people are hinting or thinking, or they might think that it's The Order 1886. I don't want to get my hopes up like that. I really don't. Because especially after I read this, this isn't really saying that this is going to be The Order 1886, but here's the quote. They said, and I quote, "No, not yet. It's incubating or internally. It's in the prototype phase. We're building a lot of things internally. We're funding it ourselves right now. It's been a lot of fun taking some of those lessons and bouncing them back and forth between the two projects." End quote. That's what they had to say. Now, before somebody goes, well, why can't it be The Order 1886? Well, last time I checked, The Order 1886 is actually owned by Sony. That's an IP owned by Sony. If Sony wants the actual sequel to happen, then Sony would have to, one, fund it, right? And then get these guys back on there to make it. And what's interesting about that statement I just made, the director really does want to redeem himself and make a sequel. So I don't know why Sony wouldn't give them a second chance to, you know, fix the right or right the wrongs, you know what I'm saying, and give us a proper sequel. I mean, for God's sakes, they gave Knack a sequel, and odds are Knack might get another sequel. You know, why not give, you know, The Order 1886 another chance? I'm pretty sure The Order 1886, if done right, can be a great game. That can be their Gears of War, you know, competitor type of game right there. It really can, you know. It really can. It's gory. It's got everything. I wouldn't say it needs multiplayer, but if they were to add multiplayer, it's got a lot of possibilities for a multiplayer type of thing, you know. You can have team like objective type modes where you're going after Lycans. You can have horde modes. I mean, that type of stuff can easily fall in The Order 1886. And you think about it, it has so much depth to it. It really does. You know, even though one particular aspect of the game was kind of, it felt a little thrown in there, right? And that was the vampires. They felt a little thrown in there. But that's another thing that could play a factor in the game. I mean, imagine if let's say we did get the secret, right? And we had a multiplayer version of this, and it was like team deathmatch or find the decoy type of thing, right? Because, you know, one of the people among you guys, like, actually, I said find the decoy. How about survival mode? Let's say it's survival mode, right? You got to survive the werewolves, but also the game will randomly make one of you a vampire. And how it works is only, you know, again, one man will stand, right? But you guys got to watch each other's back, and you have to look out for that one particular individual who might be the vampire. Just saying, like, things like that could have been a cool thing they could have incorporated with the game. You know, there's possibilities with this game. I know it's early. It's early, guys. I'm just throwing random stuff out here. It's early, but you get where I'm coming at. But I'm rambling at this point. That's how I feel on the subject. All right, so there you go. That's today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoy. If you did, definitely hit that like button. I do appreciate you guys checking out today's video. Also hit that bell icon so you guys stay up to date here on the channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty good week in terms of news, so that's pretty cool. Definitely a busy week, and I'm expecting even more as we get closer and closer to Friday for RGT episode 62. But without further ado, that's pretty much the video, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys checking it out, and yeah, anybody who's new to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys want to stick around. If you do, I'll definitely see you guys here on the channel for more news, rumors, etc., here on the channel. But without further ado, this is the end of the video, and I'll see you guys later. Without further ado, y'all have a good one. All right? Big Cloud, signing out.